Chapter 9, Portal Lag. They took a quick trip to the garage. Like every garage, it smelled of cardboard, mildew, and gasoline. Their family van, a 9-year-old powder blue Dodge Caravan with fake wood paneling around the middle, not as reliable as a four-wheel drive Jeep in the winter, occupied the space, but above it, resting on a pair of wooden pegs, sat the roof rake. A 2-story aluminum pole topped with a flat shovel like an oversized garden hoe. The rake was easy to take down, dismantle, and carry upstairs. It was pretty simple, too, to affix a camera to the shovel end. Lashing proved difficult, so they ended up using 3 feet of duct tape instead. Then they snapped the pole back together. The pole went well out of the bathroom door into Cole's room, but they could manage the angle to send it through the portal. They pushed the red record button and advanced into the room, both holding the handle. Once through, they slowly rotated the rake 360 degrees, then withdrew it from the mirror. Cole hooked the camera up to the desktop monitor, and they both watched with eagerness as he pushed play. They saw the bathroom, the portal, then, as Cole predicted, the image distorted and became blurry and difficult to decipher. A few seconds later, the scenery came into focus. A brook in a meadow surrounded by a birch and conifer forest, and bordered by large mountain peaks in the distance. A breathtaking scene illuminated by a setting or rising sun. Then it swiveled at an almost dizzying speed, and the camera withdrew. "What the?" Cole began. "Was that sped up? What's wrong with the camera?" Cole looked at it carefully. Nothing at all." "So, let's do it again," Cole said. "I have an idea, but we'll have to test it. This time we rotate it really, really slowly." Again, they sent the camera through the mirror. "I wanted the rotation to take a full 2 minutes," Cole said. "I'm going to time it." He looked at his watch. "Okay, start." This time, when they watched the recording, the view swiveled at a reasonable speed, though still much faster than they'd actually spun the camera. When it finished, Byron spoke first. "That was like half a minute." "Just about 25 seconds, Cole confirmed. "What does it mean?" "The time runs slower on the other side, I think. Given the differential, it's about 5 times slower." "How can that be?" "I don't know. It explains the delay with the ball, too. We threw it, and it took too long to fall back through the portal. It wasn't gravity. It was time." "Okay," Byron nodded. "So now what? One of us goes through?" "No, absolutely not," Cole said. "Mom would kill us if something happened." Harold whined from the outside of the door and scratched again. Cole looked in that direction and his eyes lit up. "No," Byron said. "Absolutely not. You can't send Harold." "Why not?" Cole said. "If it's too dangerous for me, it's too dangerous for him," Byron said. "At least I understand the risk. He's just a dog." "He doesn't have to stay long," Cole said. "We throw the ball through, he gets it, and comes right back. We can test our theory, too. I'll sync my watch with my wall clock, then I'll put it on his collar, and we can see what time it is when he gets back. It'll be just like Back to the Future." "What if he doesn't get back?" Byron persisted, ignoring Cole's attempt at humor. "What if the forces kill him? Look, we have Wheatstone's letter. People went through 150 years ago and returned. Why should this be any different?" He opened the hallway door and Harold waggled into the room. "But what if he can't find the portal, or if he's scared to jump through? What if he runs off into the woods or something?" "He loves fetch," Cole said. "He'll come right back." "Hold on," Byron said. He ran out, returning a few minutes later with a peanut butter jar and a knife. He cut the duct tape with the knife and wrenched the camcorder off the roof rake. "We'll do it, but if he's not back in 1 minute, I'm slathering this thing with PB and sending it through. He'll come for that." "A minute's too short. Over there, that would be like 12 seconds. Better give him 3 minutes. Cole synced his watch with the clock and looped it around Harold's collar. Byron gave the shepherd a hug and a kiss, while Cole dug another tennis ball out from under his bed. "Hey, Harold," Cole said, shaking the dust from the ball. The dog's brown eyes moved with his hand and glued to the fuzzy yellow ball. "Ooh, look, a ball! You want the ball? You gonna get the ball?" He held it out of Harold's reach, and the dog barked, his tail wagging out of control in a circle rather than back and forth. "Sit," Byron commanded. Harold sat, his almond-colored eyes glittering and his tail sweeping the carpet. His whole butt waggled. "Fetch," Cole yelled, then tossed the ball into the mirror at an angle such that it wouldn't come right back through the hole. Harold bounded after it and leaped through the portal, disappearing from the bathroom. Cole and Byron looked at each other, the former's face showing a thrill of excitement and the latter's creases of anxiety. Byron counted the seconds, nervous for Harold, his senses keyed up for the sound of any sound or change from the mirror. 2 minutes elapsed. Neither brother spoke. The deep thrum of a motor vehicle and the sound of crunching gravel came through the wall from outside. Their parents had returned. Cole's eyes bulged. Oh no! But then Harold bounded back through the mirror. 2 balls, the one Cole threw and the one Byron had lost, lodged firmly in his mouth, and Byron enfolded him in his arms, laughing. Harold dropped the balls and licked his face. The front door thumped. Cole, get down here and give us a hand with these bags, their dad shouted up the stairs. Okay, Cole said. Be right there. He bent to pull his watch off Harold's collar and held it up to the wall. Over half a minute slow, he announced with a smile, then headed for the hallway. Unplug that thing, he said through the door. Then come downstairs. I'm sure Mom wants to ask you how your arm's feeling. That night, before going to bed, the boys had a conversation which would change their lives forever. So, Cole came into Byron's room and sat on his brother's bed as he fought Lavos on his TV screen. It's obvious the next logical step is for one of us to go through. Yeah, Byron agreed. After dinner, while Mom told me to nap, I put together my scout pack. Tent, sleeping roll, hatchet, knife, first aid kit, flint, matches. No one's talking about an expedition here. In fact, I've been thinking about it, and I imagine we can get about 2 hours undisturbed in the daytime and more at night. 2 hours on this side is barely half an hour over there, he replied. We can treat it like a moon landing. Collect samples, run experiments, that kind of thing. Film it, too. You won't need a tent, though. It's better to be prepared, Byron replied, still focusing on the screen. What if the power went out or the mirror broke? Speaking of which, he continued, I'm the one who has to go through. You have to stay here and watch the machine. I couldn't fix it if there was a problem. One of Byron's characters died. 2 remained. I get your point, Cole responded. And I think, too, we have to do some more testing before you go through. What kind of testing? Well, durability testing for one. We know the mirror works, but we've never had it on for more than an hour. What if it burns out? What if it can't handle a long duration of being powered up? It gets pretty hot after all. And then there are other questions like, is the portal's location stable? I mean, what if the portal were to travel on the other side? You'd be lost forever. So what do we do? Byron asked. We run the machine all night and run data directly to the desktop so we can check on it tomorrow. I've already changed the smoke detector batteries and placed it in the bathroom in case it overheats. You're making me nervous. Nothing's going to happen, but like you say, it's always better to be ready. He smiled. If it runs all night without failure, we'll treat tomorrow like a documentary. You interview me, I'll interview you, we'll reproduce our experiments, then you can go through, film some stuff, collect samples, and I don't know, plant an American flag or something. Then we'll talk about who to send it to. He laughed. A second character crumpled on the screen, leaving the red-haired Chrono standing alone against the final boss. Use Luminaire, Cole advised, finally drawn into the game. Not enough MP. Gotta go with Frenzy, Byron replied. It didn't work. Lavos chewed Chrono up and spit him out. The end scene began to play. Lavos screamed his otherworldly keening scream, and the camera zoomed out to show the dying world, and the words, "But the future refused to change," lingered as it faded from view. Cole, Byron asked, putting down the controller, don't you think we should tell Mom and Dad? Tomorrow, Cole said. Tomorrow night after dinner.